Finally, I've stopped faffing about. Right. Got my notes here. Right, well, good morning. It's John here at the Cuckoopatch little shed and workshop. Just over a week ago, I was nominated by the lovely Shaz and Terry from the Kingstone8 channel to participate in the Roundup challenge. Anyway, if you haven't popped across to the Kingstone8 channel, it's a great channel. They've got lots of lovely photography on there, and one of my favourite videos is when the Wiltshire man visited their allotment, and it was fabulous. It's such a great allotment, I love it. And also, to boot, they have great backing music to each of their videos. There's all sorts of videos there. There's fishing, there's little country scenes, and all manner of things, and lots of bird feeding videos as well, which is great fun to watch. Okay then, so now to the challenge. Well, Roundup challenge. Well, question 1. What was your best crop of 2018? Well, I'll have to say that I can't say 2018 really, because I didn't acquire my allotment plots until probably July, which was well into the growing season, my new allotment plots in North Wales. So I'll tell you about the best crops I grew in 2017. Well, at the bottom of our garden there's a little plot. It's probably about 18 feet by 15 feet, something like that. And at the moment it's housing one polytunnel, which is going to start off seedlings and things like that for my allotments, so I can take them down on the Royal Enfield, or in the 1976 Reliant Kitten fiberglass car that I've got. There's only about 55 on the road in the whole country, but it's great because we can put the seats down in the back, and it's got a huge boot. Anyway, back to the little plot at the bottom of the garden. In 2017 I bought a lot of these plastic sort of grow sacks, they are, and I started growing all sorts of plants in these grow sacks. They'd probably be about, would it be 18 inches in circumference, something like that. And I started growing sweet corn, and the sweet corn, I think I bought them, sorry, I grew them from seed earlier on in the year, and I had 3 corn plants, sweet corn plants to each grow sack. So anyway, it wasn't a bad summer actually, 2017, but by September time, the sweet corn, which were grown in probably about 4 or 5 of these grow sacks, had grew huge. They were probably about 7 or 8 foot tall, and had about, on average, 3 cobs, and the cobs were absolutely delicious. So that was my best crop of 2017. Also that did well in the little plot in 2017 was the purple sprouting broccoli, which we harvested in early 2018. So that was another crop that did really well. Okay, question 2. What was the worst crop of 2018? Well, I'll have to go back to 2017 again and tell you about the worst crop. Well, the worst crop was definitely the potatoes. They didn't grow well at all in the grow sacks. What I did, I did put some crocks at the bottom of the plastic grow sacks, and I put a layer of compost, and then I'd put the potatoes pretty low down, sort of thing, and let them, and then topped up probably about half the grow sack, and give them a chance to grow from the bottom, and once they'd start getting exposed by halfway up the grow sack, I top up with compost again. But when I harvest them, the first that I harvest would have been about June, something like that. And they weren't very good at all, very small. You know, I got a little meal out of them for the family, you know, nothing special. So that was a disaster, really. But I have what they call an Instagram. I've got an Instagram channel, and it's called Cuckoopatch Garden. So if you pop along to the Instagram channel, I haven't been on it for such a long time because the only device I work from is the tabletop computer in the back room. My huddle, little huddle, is broken, so I don't really access my account on Instagram. But I've got lots of photographs of the gardens as they were in 2017, and this little workshop where I make all these little signs. You probably can't see them, and I do apologise about the lighting in here, because I'm no good with all this tech stuff and facing cameras and things like that, so I do apologise. Right, so that was definitely my worst crop of 2017. Right, question 3. What would you do differently, or lessons learned? Well, this goes back to 2018, and what I'd like to say about this is that when I first took the plots on, I had two plots. They are privately owned plots, so luckily I got 2 together, and I was so excited about the prospects for the future of these 2 plots. So on our first trip down there, me and Pam went down there on the Royal Enfield, and to be honest, I looked at it and I thought, oh God, you know, it's gonna take ages to do all this. And then I watched a few YouTube channels, and I noticed that certain people, Bill and Val's, is it Allotment Plot Heaven? Something like that. And they were mentioning do little and often and things like that, and Sean Cameron as well mentioned about doing jobs little and often. So I took that on, and I go down there. It's a fair old distance, mind you. It's as the crow flies, it's about 8 or 9 miles. But the way I go, because I deliberately go that way, is I use all the back roads and the little country lanes. Because it's so scenic around the North Wales and Cheshire, England borders. So yes, I don't mind taking a long trip to the plots. But getting back to the plots, I was like a bull at a gate, really. I was spending 5, 6 long hours there just digging and digging, and I was getting slightly disheartened. But after watching those videos which I just mentioned about do little and often, I took that policy on, and it's been paying dividends in plot M12 as it is. So yeah, that's lessons learned, is just little and often. Right. Question 4. What was your biggest challenge? Well, this goes back to early 2018. As you all know, we had a drought, and it really started probably about mid-May, something like that, on and off, and then right through June and into July. But I was working at a community garden until I worked for this community. It was like a community garden. I worked for them while I was looking for my own plots in the future, you know, and what it was, that we used to have to work around the hours that the shop was open, you see, because it was a farm shop and they had a bit of land at the back, and the only time you could water was after 9 o'clock in the morning, or before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. After 4 o'clock, we had to shut up shop, sort of thing. We had to pack up what we were doing and go, because the shop shut at 4 or 5 o'clock, I think it was. So we couldn't spend any evenings down there, so I was a little bit disheartened by that. But what it was the amount of watering, like everyone else has struggled with over the past summer as well. So yeah, definitely watering like everyone else. Question 5. What are your plans for 2019? Well, my plans for 2019 is to continue with the hard work down at plot M9, M12 and the new little plot, which is S6, and just continue to work down there. I've got lots of plans. I bought a little polytunnel, which is 3 meters times 2 meters, which is in the little plot at the bottom of our garden, and my plan is to start sowing seeds and taking the seedlings down to the plots in the Reliant Kitten, or in the huge basket on the back of the Royal Enfield. and that's going to be like a nursery, the polytunnel at the bottom of the garden to take seedlings down to the plots. But yes, the plans for 2019 is, as I said, was just to continue working and creating beds, trying to go for no dig as well. I've got lots of plans for S6, which is a little plot that I've acquired as well, that's adjacent to M9. And if you looked at my videos, I've got some good pictures of the plots and good films of the actual plots in the area that it covers. So yeah, just carry on down at the plots. That's what my plans are for 2019. Question 6. Who inspired you in 2018? Well, it was everyone that inspired me in 2018 from all the YouTubers, because there was all sorts of things, all sorts of channels that inspired me, and I like Richard and Paul's channel. Fantastic. It's a great channel to watch. I like Sean Cameron. I like Katie's channel, Lamb in the Leaks. There's all sorts of Kingstone8, which I mentioned before, which I got nominated by. There's all sorts, and I'm sorry if I didn't mention you just now, but I'm not used to these cameras and things like that. So, but loads of channels that I'm inspired by. And if you go onto my YouTube channel and go into the channels section, you can see all the people that I've subscribed to, and that's I spend a lot of time researching the YouTube channels. So yeah, I'm inspired by you all. Well, thanks very much. Right then, so it's time for me to nominate 3 people for the Roundup challenge, and the 3 people I'm going for, well, one is a family actually. The first person I'm going for the Roundup challenge is Sue Garrett's channel. She's I don't think she's had the channel too long, but I really enjoy watching her and husband's channel. They've got a huge plot. I think it's made up of about 4 or 5 plots, and they've got herbaceous borders. They've got all sorts of things growing, and I love anything like that, and the wildlife that's going on there. And also they've got a little orchard section, and one of the videos when I was looking through the channel was called, what was it called again? It was called How to Make a Waspinator. And I was fascinated by that because they were having problems with wasps in their orchard above harm reached height. So in the video, Sue had made what they call a waspinator, which was made out of bubble wrap and brown paper crumpled up together. I was fascinated by this, so that was my favourite video on that section of Sue's videos. Yeah, that was really good. And the second nomination is another channel, and it's a young lady in the Wirral, and the channel is called Gin and Bones. And that's great. She's got a great little allotment. She's got chickens and rabbits and all manner of things growing, and everything seems to be growing well there. I just love it. Yeah, so that's Gin and Bones. And the other channel, they're probably not watching, will probably never get round to watching this video, because this particular channel is called Thousands of Roots. Thousands of Roots are a family-based homesteading family based in Missouri, in upper central America, North America. And when they started their channel, I've been following them for probably 12 months now, probably longer, and I think they had around 700 subscribers or something like that. But anyway, they put up 2 videos each week. It's called Thousands of Roots. I'll put it in the link. I don't know how to do these link things where you can attach a link, so I'll just write it down, type it in at the bottom of a little description I'll put with this video. And that channel is called Thousands of Roots, and it's a Missouri family of 8, and they've got 6 children, and they do 2 videos a week, and it's great. It's all off grid, and it's great the way the children are enjoying nature, enjoying the chores that they do, and they're blessed by all the people now that have joined the channel. I think they've got probably 24,000 subscribers. They've even started making t-shirts, and they've nearly sold all them. And they started as a fledgling little channel. Obviously they can't, they probably never watched this, but it's worth checking out their channel. It's called Thousands of Roots, and they do. They've got a bit of some livestock, and they've got gardens where they grow all sorts of vegetables and flowers, and all the children. There's actually a video, several videos, 6 videos actually of each of the children and what they get up to each day, and they're all homeschooled as well, and it's fantastic to watch. It's well worth watching, and that's called Thousands of Roots. So yeah, so that's my 3 nominations. That's Sue Garrett, Gin and Bones, and Thousands of Roots. So okay then, I think I've waffled on long enough, and it's getting rather cold in this little workshop as well. So yeah, I think I got away with that pretty okay. I didn't get distracted too much. I noticed my little radio's gone off as well, and so I'm going to leave the puppets, the 3 puppets, Freddy, the shipwrecked cat. I don't know, I haven't got the called a crow or anything like that, but there's all my signs and things all around, and all sorts of vintage stuff in here. I'll show you them another day. But anyway, that's what I've got to say about my Roundup challenge. Okay then, bye for now.